Assalamu alaikum. I apologize again for being late. Usually I'm late for these live streams because I plan them ahead and then something comes up. So that's life, and hopefully you will be able to forgive me. So, how are you guys doing? Thanks for tuning in. And I thought that it would be good to do a live stream because it's been a while since we've done one. And I haven't really had a chance to interact with anyone because I was posting some of my older travel content from Bosnia. And yeah, it's been almost a month. I think it's been a month since I'm in Slovakia, so my life has radically changed, but I haven't really posted much about that. And I just want to chill out and hang out with you guys for a while and see where it goes. So I picked the theme: Are you prioritizing Allah over this world, this dunya? And I think this is very relevant for all of us, no matter on what level of deen you are at. This is always going to be our struggle. And I actually purchased this camera and this HDMI cable to do a live stream from my DSLR camera, but unfortunately, I wasn't able to hook it up. So it's just a webcam. I'm really sorry. I want to update my equipment, but I wasn't able to. So I'm kind of nervous about that. Anyways, how are you? Where are you from? Let me know in the comment section. That's a good start. And I think we can do a good show. Feel free to actually call me. I'll share the link. Let me see, where is it? Yeah, here it is. So this is the link. I highlight it. That's it. Um, by the way, so funny. I live in this town, and right next to my door, there's like a big European youth event here. There's like thousands of young people competing in different sports. So the whole town is like upside down, and there are these Jehovah's Witnesses on every corner, like in a suit, and they have beautiful dawa materials. And I asked them for a book and stuff, and they have it in English and everything, but they just stand there. So I figured, what's a good idea? I'm gonna go there tomorrow with my GoPro and give them dawa about Islam. Like, it depends if they speak Slovak or English. But if they speak English, I might do it on English and then post it on this channel. And if they just speak Slovak, then I'll do it in Slovak and post it on the Slovak channel. But it's like a great opportunity because I also have some pamphlets, and these guys are doing dawa. So I know they'll be up to a debate or something. So I just figured it's good. It could be interesting. Anyways, off topic. Off topic. Uh, Sorry, can you guys hear me? Can you confirm that you can hear my voice, or what's going on? Hey, what's up, bro? I am from Tunisia. Nice. Salam, Ahmed. Is my voice bad? Is the microphone not working? Let me know so that I can set it up if it's not working correctly. It should be working, actually. It's this bigger one. So, anyways, Kashmir, what's up? Walaikum salam. What a cool name, Yol May. Nice. Clear voice, nice. Thank you, guys. Irish trivia, good stuff. Greetings from Iran. What's happening in Iran? Let us know. Yagigane? Cool names. Assalamu alaikum, brother. Walaikum salam. Sadaf Faruqi. Nice. Matrix, assalamu alaikum. Walaikum salam. Walaikum salam, guys. From Holland. Nice. So, yeah. First, let me open this drink. 0% alcohol, halal. So, should be halal. Because I was just in the gym, and it's so hot. Is it hot where you are? Is it like, I don't know if it's like usually this hot in the planet overall, but is it more hot than usual where you live? whether that's Europe, US, or Middle East, because here it's like unbearably hot and people are like fainting on the streets. It's like crazy. So we've never had this heat, and I think it's from the. No, I'm not gonna say that. I wanted to make a joke, like it's from the, the LGB blah 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 blah. But that's a strange joke. But I just wanted to make that because it's a Pride Month here, and they're doing a lot of pride parades, and so, anyways, cheers. Cool. All right, so maybe my first question, by the way, and again, I'm highlighting. Feel free to call me. I can do a stream or whatever. I don't have anything specific I want to talk about. I just like to kind of like share my thoughts because I'm so caught up in the dunya, usually in this day and age, and I've been thinking a lot about how when I was first becoming a Muslim, how strong my deen was. It was so strong. Not my deen, akida, I would call it. My conviction about Islam was very strong because I had these spiritual experiences mixed up with these communal experiences, also with the praying, and then with the real world kind of implications. When, let's say, I stopped drinking, then I could see the benefits, and it was amazing. But as I guess, when you start improving in your deen, and you're coming from jahiliyyah, right, as I was, it kind of goes fast because basically you have your fundamentals are so broken, right? Let's say you're addicted to alcohol, drugs, you sleep with women, whatever. So it's so simple. All you have to do is just cut out all the negative things, and immediately you will be a better person. So it's actually not that difficult to see the changes in your life as a new Muslim. So let's say you switch, you now convert, you do Shahada, and you become a new Muslim. And basically, yeah, you try to follow Islam. I was following Islam even like a month or two before my Shahada because I knew it's going to be difficult. But I basically, so basically cut down the alcohol, cut down weed, cut down all the whatever drugs you're taking. Maybe I'm not speaking to you guys, by the way, just anyone who's watching this, because it's going to be recorded on YouTube forever to see. So maybe my children are looking at this 30 years later. Who knows? Anyways, so the alcohol, the drugs, you cut down all the haram kind of relations and everything kind of like, which is clearly kind of killing you inside. And your life improves tremendously. And you haven't done anything good, by the way. You just removed the negatives. So you haven't started praying correctly, let's say, or you haven't done an act of charity, or you haven't fasted because you're a new Muslim, you don't know. But just removing the haram, it made your life better. And then on top of that, now you're improving in terms of your deen, which means that, let's say you now start giving zakah, you start fasting, you go through Ramadan, you pray 5 times a day already, right? So you're on this level. You may be memorizing the surah or something. You're reading the Quran. Maybe you are trying to learn Arabic. I don't know, but like not that's advanced. Just basic level deen. Basic level deen we're speaking about. You're very confused, but basic level deen, that helps you as well because you now have something you never had. You have Allah in your life. You have this entity that watches over you and knows everything you're doing. And it's a new feeling because I never had that. I never had that feeling of someone watching my things, even when I know I'm alone. But this thing is watching me. And it doesn't matter if I'm with people and I act differently or if I'm alone. So, for example, quick example, I think many of you can relate as Muslims, practicing Muslims. If you go to a mosque, do you pray Sunnah prayer, or do you just do the Fard prayer, the Salah, right? So most will pray Sunnah prayer when they are in the mosque. True or not? Yes, because they see other people praying Sunnah, so they do Sunnah. But when I'm at home, I don't pray Sunnah. You see, that's the difference because I don't have that community around me. I don't have that. I'm alone. What's the point? And then you see, that's the thing. Like, we behave differently if we're among other people, but Allah sees me even when I'm alone. So I could pray Sunnah when I'm alone. Why am I not doing it? I don't know. I have a bad understanding of Islam. I don't understand that Allah is watching me all the time. He even says in the Quran that there are no three people making a deal without Allah being the fourth one. I think that's kind of the, I'm paraphrasing, of course, but that's the point. And do we have a correct understanding of this? Or is Allah just some distant thing for us? I think, of course, since we are practicing, or we're trying to become closer to Allah by doing these acts of worship, we of course know that, no, of course, Allah is watching, and His knowledge is with everything. But how do we get closer to Allah? How do we build a relationship with Allah? That's something, I'm always struggling with. And there are days, there are weeks where I don't feel that connected. I don't feel that connection as strong. I always feel it, of course, because um, it's always with me. It's always with me. Whenever I'm on the street, I'm thinking about Allah. Whenever I'm traveling somewhere, I'm thinking about Allah. Not all the time, but I'm thinking about this. Um, and but if I might do something haram or something, right? So that takes me away from the remembrance of Allah. But when I'm on my deen, when I'm strong on my deen, then that's the next level. And I was in Prague for 3 days. So I just came from Prague. I was there for 3 days just for some work. And I was in the mosque with Imam. Shout out to Amis from Prague. And basically, he told me that it doesn't matter if you're in Czech Republic or in Saudi Arabia or in Algeria. You can worship Allah anywhere. And sometimes uh, I think he mentioned a story where someone in Mecca told him how, I think he told someone in Mecca when he was doing Umrah that you're so lucky you live here. And that guy told him, no, you are lucky you live in Prague, because you have to go through so many barriers to just do the basics, or not the basics, but let's say to perform your religious obligations. It's much harder. There's more pressure from society, from your friends, from your family. It's harder to get halal meat. It's harder to do something else, you know, weird. But for that, you get more rewards. You get probably more rewards. So you actually are technically more lucky to do your Islam in this environment, which allows you to do it. But it's so kind of dense. And I feel that because when I was in Turkey or something, it's amazing for the first few days, but as soon as you, let's say, you've been there for 2 or 3 weeks, the mosque, it's easy, you can go there, everything's halal, you start becoming bored, you start becoming like, what's up? And I think many Muslims then don't appreciate Islam, and that's what you will understand only when you move to countries like here, where you have to hold on to your deen because you will lose it. And so I am very optimistic, and Slovakia is the worst country for Islam, I would say, on paper. But in reality, it's amazing. In reality, I feel connected to Allah much more here, much more than I was in Prague, incomparably more. And nothing changed that much. The countries are similar, just my living situation and everything like that. But I'm still struggling with prioritizing Allah. I'm still struggling with that, and I want to see how you guys handle it sometimes, um, because this life sometimes it's so strange. It's like it overtakes me, and I'm just thinking about something stupid or some work or whatever, some haram stuff, and then I'm just like, where am I going? It's even the ayah in the Quran. Where are you going? And you can't escape this. You can't escape Allah. Um, is there a hadith Qudsi, or what is it that Allah says? If you run, you're always running towards Allah. You're always running towards Allah. So you can ignore this. You can try to run away and hide and do your sins or whatever. But essentially, you are running to meeting your Lord. And that's true. Like, you cannot escape it. So why are we not doing what we're supposed to be doing? And it's crazy because let's say we know the truth, we know the purpose of the life, we know all these things, yet we forget about it. And some people don't even do it, do the obligations, but they know it's the truth. What's stopping us? How insane is that? Imagine, well, not imagine, but look, imagine this is astaghfirullah, but imagine you see like Angel Gabriel or whatever. You see, you know that Islam is the truth, you know Allah exists, you know all these things. It's been proven. Not proven, it has been proven, but I'm saying you can see everything. Would you still disobey? Yes, you would, because humans are programmed to forget, and Quran is the makes should make you remember your purpose, because we get lost in the dunya very easy. Like, I can think, let's say one day I'm thinking, I'm praying and all that, and next day I'm just completely out. And so it doesn't matter if I can explain to someone that Islam is the truth or whatever, and if they would even see the angel Gabriel or any sign of Allah, like I would say, like, please Allah, make make a storm, and there would be a storm or anything like that, people would still disbelieve. Because why? Why do you think they do? Even if they know it's the truth, why do you think they don't want to submit? And the ones who are submitting, like us, why is it so difficult for us? Why are we not finding that peace in our salah, and we're looking for it elsewhere, in a beer, in this psychedelic or whatever? Why are we not like content with Allah, with the Quran, and all these things? It doesn't matter your level of Arabic or anything. I'm just struggling to understand my own psychology. Like, I know the truth. I know what I'm supposed to do, yet I'm not doing it fully. I'm not doing it fully. And I don't know what's stopping me. I know shaitan's after me. I know the jinns are after me. I know the society is not, I know all these pressures, but still, like, ultimately it's me who decides. And sometimes I decide not correctly. And sometimes I decide correctly. And it's like, it's an it's always a battle, right? Do you have it like that, guys? Let me know, because maybe I'm just dropping some stupid stuff. So you gotta let me know what you think about that. Because ultimately, I think this is the most important topic we can discuss. It doesn't matter if Islam is true or if it's whatever is, if the universe began to exist and there's a cause, or cosmological arguments, or if whatever. If you're not practicing Islam and you're not prioritizing Allah, then what's the point of it? What's the point of it that you say, I believe in the Quran, in this, but I don't do anything about it? You've missed the whole point. You've missed the whole benefit. So it's supposed to impact your life. It's supposed to transform your complete identity system life. But people, for example, people are still smoking cigarettes. It's possible to quit. You know the truth, but you still smoke cigarettes. And I'm not saying I'm coming from a high place. I'm saying I have a different struggle. But everyone's like struggling. I can see this. I can see this. And we go to Jummah, we do this, or we pray, we do Salah. But then we go home and we completely forget about Allah. That's the truth, sometimes. So I think we should get back to the basics. Get back to the basics to understand what to do, because I would hate to die and then realize, oh, I messed up the whole thing and I could have done this and that. And it warns us in the Quran what we should be doing, what we shouldn't be doing. And, you know, we're not doing it. So I'm gonna check some of the comments. All right, guys. So What's up? I was on Friday in Juma, Ahmed. I was there. Yeah. Any new travel video? Yeah, I have a vlog from Sarajevo actually with some of the subscribers. So I'm gonna post that inshallah in a couple of days. I had so much footage. So, but subhanallah, I'm going to Istanbul inshallah in about month and a half. So it's gonna be amazing. I'm going to Bursa in Istanbul, and then subhanallah, destiny, but I'm going to North Africa. So I'm either going to Algeria or Morocco. I still have to decide, but I'm going to either this or that for like a couple of days, and I can't wait. So that's gonna be amazing. Assalamu alaikum from Baghdad. MashaAllah. Alaikum salam. Sounds perfect. I've been thinking about this. Yeah, I guess everyone is thinking about this. Can we increase one half? Okay, I'm adding the stream. Can you hear me, bro?
Yes, can you
Ahmed?
hear me? Can you see me?
Sorry, I can't hear you. You have to turn on the mic.
It's turned on. It's
Hello?
turned on
Can you say
actually.
something?
The
Can't hear
yes,
you.
yes,
You gotta go to settings and turn on the mic. Try it out.
it's working
Ahmed
actually.
is
It's working.
a friend from Prague trying to connect.
Testing the speaker.
It's
Doesn't
working.
seem to be working. Oh, you guys can hear him?
I
Okay.
can hear
So
you.
maybe that's just me. Let me check. Uh, hey, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear
Okay,
you.
I can hear you. I switched my headphones, so I was hearing from the microphone. Anyways,
Okay, you can
salam
hear me now.
alaikum. Yeah,
Alaikum
how
assalam.
are you?
I'm fine. We missing you in Prague. I was with Amis yesterday.
Yeah, I was with Amis as well this weekend. I was
Really?
in
Oh,
Prague.
okay, I see you. Okay, okay. I didn't know because
I
also I
was for
missed
a
you.
few days.
I didn't see you even in Juma Bray. I was surprised.
I was in Juma with Ayman. Yeah, I was there but I had to run quickly home. I was just for a few hours, in Prague. So I did my
Ah, so you
Fajr and
came.
Juma.
Ah, okay, okay. That's nice. So, what
Yeah,
you say about it, about the life in Prague is not easy for Muslims, of course, because I know this, because I'm here from Egypt. It's not
yeah.
easy at all. It's not even about food, it's not about halal, it's not about this. It's mostly about the environment, not letting you don't have a lot of Muslim, you don't have a lot of things. Yesterday happened something for me, it was strange when I was coming out of mosque after Asr prayer. There is one bar next to the mosque. One lady was looking, staring to me with her dog. She's always staring to me, but then she started to look to me with a very unpleasant way. So I was like,
Okay.
so I didn't do
Do you
anything.
mean the bar next to the mosque, like in Prague?
Exactly, exactly.
Okay, I
There's
know.
one
I
lady
know which
there.
one.
She started to look to me unpleasant way. So I was like surprised why what I did I wrong, So and then it's always like this. So the
Did
always
she,
is staring to you.
did she say something or?
No, Czech people are not that much brave to say something, but like she was like she was like staring to me, and then she was not happy with my existence, so I just ignored her and they left.
Yeah.
But I know her,
How?
bro. Every
Sorry.
time I go to the mosque, I saw her. Every time I go to the mosque, I saw her.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just she doesn't look at me because I look like Czech. So you see, it's just racism or
Yeah, but she
something.
is always sitting and she's always staring to me because for 1 month I was not working in Prague. I was not having a lot of things to do, so I was really going to the mosque for each pray. And then she's always there. She always there with her dog, and then she was staring to me. But last time she started to look to me and she started to feel like annoyed, and then I left. And also something happened to me at my new work. I just want to pray in Ramadan, I
Mm,
went. I book a room, meeting room. I was praying, and the
mm.
meeting room is like glass. So one guy, really, he's a little like 45 years old or something like this. He was staring to me, and then he calls the security. It was
Really?
like, and the security guys, I know him. He's my friend, or like I say Dobry Dan, Yakshimat. And then he didn't do it. Like he was looking to me, and then he get the phone, and then he was calling someone, and he started to take photo for me. So like, and then but he was not my company because my company is divided between two companies, two entities.
Mm.
So he's like very old guy, and then like he was shocked. And then I started to talk to him when I saw him in the kitchen, but he's like really afraid. And then I told my manager that I didn't do anything. I was like my manager in Italy,
Mm.
so he respects that. I told him that I was like booked one room, I prayed. So I told him just ignore him. That was like for me, it was surprised.
Did
So
you
that
ask him why he was scared? Like,
But he's a little old, and he's from like he's working in the company from many years ago because our company divided between two entities. So he's not the person who's in my teams or even my company because my people the people in my companies are very open minded. They are young. He's from another generation,
yeah.
so I didn't start to do anything. I saw him in the elevator. I saw him in the kitchen. That's it. But
Yeah, you have to in this company like in Prague. I when I would pray in the room, I would like go
it's
in the room and I would close door and windows so no one would see me, and then I would pray because I know when people see you, they will have like this weird like questions. I just didn't want people to. I mean the people the see on you like I'm doing something, but like I didn't want people to go and check and see. So
my,
it's like not to hide, but like to be smart about this, you know.
it's my first company in Prague. They are like we're having a lot of rooms, so I was booking a room, and the
Yeah.
receptionist knows that. My second company, I was having one lady from Egypt. She was also with hijab, and she was a Muslim.
Okay.
She was a recruiter. So I was praying in the room. We have a lot of rooms, and no one even say
Nice.
anything to me. But the people in my second company was open mind more.
But what's the so you said that it's different in Egypt than here, but not. I understand the society and like let's say everything is like different, but in terms of your own personal like deen or whatever, is it better in Egypt or it's here? Because I've heard many people in Prague, especially, told me like let's say in Algeria they didn't practice. When they came to Prague, they started practicing.
That's true.
Why?
My mom was
Because it's
surprised.
harder or what?
My mom was surprised when I was going to pray Taraweeh. We saw me a lot.
Mhm.
So my mom was surprised because in Egypt I never go to Taraweeh. I just eat it after Ramadan and Maghrib, eat and then have a tea and then relax. So everyone, my mom and my father were surprised because you have more time in Prague. You are mostly not having that much too much family to things to do. You are not in Egypt in Ramadan. It's different a little. Let's say that you are caring about watching TVs. You are going to see your family, friends. Here, it's good to meet Muslims, people like you, understand
Yeah.
you. So here you feel alone, so you go to the mosque. Also, in Prague is easier because I wouldn't say in Egypt you have a lot of mosques, okay, but sometimes let's say it's something like you feel like the mosque is here, what will happen, so I just pray at home. But here you feel more the mosque. You don't have a lot of mosque in Prague, so it's most more precious. I don't know
Yeah.
if you can reach the point something like here also you can. It's a more comfortable life in Prague in Europe more than Egypt. You're always busy with many things because busy to make money, busy to check your family, busy to do blah 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 blah. Here in Prague, you have a lot of work-life balance, so you have more time. You can go to the mosque. You have more time. You can go to whatever. I was in Ramadan. I was going finish work, go home, start to cook something for myself and my brother in mosque, and then go to pray, stay at night, and then I just go home to sleep. And my manager, I told him about this period because it was my first month in the company, and he was surprised that I was able to wake up around 8 and come complete work. so you have more time, more comfortable in Prague. Let's say it's
But
always
that's
like,
because you're alone, or you don't have like a large family. Let's say you would have kids or something, it would be more complicated.
yeah, yeah, of course. If I have more kids, if I have like a large family, I will start to have more time. But Islam is like in Egypt, you don't feel Islam because you're born as a Muslim. From
Mm.
you and from Matthew, I met also one guy, 18 years old in Prague. He's a Czech. He's a new
Yeah, I
Muslim.
know.
So you still think about it. What makes you feel like you need to turn to Islam? You know, for us, it's like everyone around you in Egypt is a Muslim, so you didn't feel something. It's normal. You get used to this. In Prague, you are just surprised when you see a white person is a Muslim. When you see someone like he's speaking like he's a blonde and he turned to Islam from himself. Because I
Mm.
was very lucky to born as a Muslim. Mm, so you don't feel that much. But then when you go out of your country, I'm here in Prague for 3 years and 6 months. You start to. My first year in Prague was not that much practicing a lot. I was doing Ramadan, I was praying at home, but I was like not that much, doing going to the mosque or something like this. Then I start to go to the mosque, and then I start to go to pray a lot,
Mm.
and then I start to meet my brothers. So it's something I start to see people from other culture. Even for me, when I see person a Muslim from Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, uh, India, it's still something for me, different, because I used to Arab Muslims,
Mm.
Egypt, Syrian, Iraqi, Egyptian. So it's for me because we speak the language actually.
Yeah.
So when you see a Muslim from another country, he doesn't even understand Arabic, but he's practicing or praying. You feel like surprised, or you feel like curious about what's happening. When I was in Istanbul, 2019 November, I was also. It's my first country that is not Arab, but they're Muslims. So I was also thinking about how they go to the Jum'ah khutbah and they say Turkish and Arabic. And then for
Mm.
me, it's like I'm very lucky that I understand Arabic because it's Quran. So I
Yeah.
start to feel like I start to ask my brother from other Turkish or other anything, how could you just manage to practice Islam without Arabic? Because even there is a bad thing the people in Europe say Islam is only for Arab people.
Yeah,
So
that's.
this is
I think it's the biggest, let's say,
challenge.
challenge for new Muslims or like people who don't speak Arabic at all, because like yeah, like it's a big problem, but it doesn't prevent you to practice nothing. Like all you have to do, according to all four schools of like Sunni Islam, is to just recite Al Fatiha in Arabic, and then you have to do like Salah. You can learn pretty like within a few months. You can learn Salah. Like it took me like 3 4 months to learn how to pray, what to say, how to say it. So okay, you can learn this. Of course, you don't learn any surahs. I just learned like Surah Ikhlas and everything, but it's very slow because you don't even know what you're saying. You need to know. So first of all, if you don't understand, then don't even like it doesn't make sense. You need to understand the meaning. Plus, you need to pronounce it. Plus, you need to then you're reading it in English, right? So it's so at this stage, like after 2 years, now I'm reading Arabic slowly, but it's very like I
Easy.
don't know what I'm saying, right? So I still have to like learn the words. Yeah.
Arabic is not easy. Like even for when my mom is Egyptian, of course. She read Quran.
Mm.
There is some words very complicated for old people, like something like very Fusha Arabic, and we used to Egyptian Arabic.
Yeah.
So imagine for a person coming from Slovakia or Czech or British, or it's not easy. So it's always curious about it because I saw in Egypt we have I met also Russian people in Egypt. They
Mm.
are just Russian, but also Muslims or Shishani, I guess. They are Shishani,
Yeah.
but they are also Muslims. But they are also I don't know how to they just can't say something about Quran, but he couldn't understand it fully, or
But
So it
the thing is, like, even in Bosnia, when I was like a few months ago, like, yes, like people don't speak Arabic that much. They know like basic words and stuff. But the thing is, like, since it's a Muslim country, not Arabic, like, let's say you go to a bookstore and it's like everything is in Bosnian. Like, you have Sahih Bukhari, you have Hadiths in Bosnian, everything is Bosnian, Quran is Bosnian, Everything
I know.
is Bosniak, so they turn it into their own language. They have their own names for like mosque. It's not called like masjid, but jamia, and they switch everything to their language, and it works really well. And then of course they recite the Quran, and like they recite it very well actually. The people who learn it, so uh, it's possible to do it like this in these countries because
Alan told
everything
me,
else. Sorry.
you know Alan from Bosnia? Alan,
No, no, I'm not sure.
are you able to see me?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, because I was thinking you only speak. Alan also from Bosnia. He was telling me about this. But I will tell you something also. Because for Christianity, like I have a Greek friend, he's Christian, and he told me that uh, Bible came with a Greek words or a Greek something like this,
Hmm.
and then it started translated to all the languages.
Yeah.
So I guess the same because also I have a Polish friend. He's interested in Islam. He was in Iran, and the Imam gave him a book of Quran and translated to English.
Yeah.
So he was always, for me, when I read the same things with Arabic, and I start to switch to English, the Quran, it doesn't make the same meanings for me. It touched me from inside when I read it with Arabic, but when I read it
Yeah.
with English, I feel like something is missing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a
So I agree. I agree. Like, but you as like a revert, I read the clear Quran from an Egyptian actually. He's like American Egyptian who translated, and like you need that. Like if you haven't read Quran in like English or your language, it's not good. You need to like read it at least once or
yeah,
twice to know what's happening.
to feel it.
Even though you will not understand, even if it's in English, you will not understand everything because you're missing the context. You don't know what the tafsir. There's nothing like just basic explanation, but you need to understand what's the Quran. And once you have this, yeah, the thing is like there's many recitation online which you can watch, and they have subtitles in English, but it's Arabic, and then you can like hear it plus it let's say it's a surah or something. So that's another way, but yeah, I don't think you can ever get to that Arabic. Like it's impossible because you
Also,
would have to like.
can you recognize Quran even if you are not a Muslim? Can if I have something next to me Quran, some readers like Mashari, he's reading Quran. Can you understand
Mhm.
it's music or it's Quran?
I don't know. I can, but I don't know if other people can. Like,
Okay, because like so for me, when I was in Egypt. I was making interview. When I was in Egypt, I was searching for a new job, but I was like still working in Prague, but I was searching for a new job, and I was in my vacation in Egypt, so I made interview. I made interview for in a Czech Republic, but lady was from Argentina, and
mhm.
then the azan start to say Allahu
Yeah.
Akbar, Allah Akbar. So she started to tell me that there is some music next to you, because I was in my home. So it's like
Mhm.
Allah Akbar is very popular. So I was like surprised. There is not everyone knows a lot about this, but she was from
Mm.
Argentina originally. So I was like, for me, I was always interested how non-Arab people see Quran
Oh
and
yeah,
how.
yeah. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's like music. Yeah, exactly. Like I never before I was interested. We don't. First of all, we don't even know what is adhan. What it like? It all sounds like some poetry or some music. So yeah, I
But
wouldn't
that is very
recognize it.
Zen is very popular because now they start to see it in the movies. They start to be people go to European always go to Turkey, Istanbul,
Yeah.
Switzerland, you know,
Yeah,
and
my cousin just went and he said like he was annoyed with the Fajr like prayer because it was like Adhan every time he wanted to sleep and there was like Adhan. But then he like learned he actually has a question about Islam for me, so I don't know. He
I was
was like
having
saying,
application in my mobile for reminding me of pray. He would say Allah Akbar,
yeah,
Allah Akbar. And then I was in the tram. When I came to Prague, I was in the tram. And he started to say, and everyone looked at me and I started to feel panic. So I just
yes,
do it
that's
mute.
like
Yeah, but I do it mute, and then the application start to remind me only with notification, you know, because and then I start. That's why one of the culture changing things. So in Egypt, I miss the Azan voice. Here, I am
mm,
living next to the church in Vršoviska, and it's very
okay,
annoying when they doing the bell. So I was like,
yeah,
it's the bell makes play in your ears, and you feel like something is medic, you know.
Yeah,
Azan is
but
more
it's
comfortable.
yeah. They do it like every hour. So like here we also have bells and they ring them, but they here every hour they do it. It's not like adhan. It's not for prayer. It's just like I
I
don't
know.
even know what's the point of it. Like to remember God. I don't know. But people don't go to church. So anyways,
Yeah, in Prague, no, no, not like when I was in Italy. It was like more religious. When I was in Greece, they are more religious. I know, but I mean,
yeah,
it's Azan is very blessing, peaceful. You
yeah,
feel like
yeah.
something good touching you. But the bell of the church, not the church, the bell, it's playing in your ears, makes you feel like something is wrong. Something like it's annoying you. So I
Yeah,
was
and
feeling.
then so like that's the difference. So like when people are starting talking about like rules in Islam, like we have to understand most rules came in Medina when the Islam was already like established as society. And like it can work maybe in Egypt, but there's no way you can bring some of this in Czech Republic. Like it's basically like you have to understand like the context when it was revealed or these rules, and they are for Muslims. These are rules for Muslims, not for like when you're one Muslim surrounded by thousand non-Muslims. Like it can
I know, I
somehow
respect.
you can do something, but it's like sometimes it's like very difficult because some people are very strict, which I understand. There's some, okay, I get it, but like what, like you have to really understand where you are and how you can actually do something here. It's you
I,
have to
I'm not
somehow
that much
find the
into
balance.
in Egypt. If you went to Egyptian society, no one appreciate that they are a Muslim because hey, it's normal for us. And then people go to cafe, people can break and be in the mosque, and no one cares. But then when they travel abroad, they start to feel the value of Islam, that you need it, because for
When
for us,
problems
like,
start or what? When war
no
or
problems when you
whatever?
travel in abroad, in
Travel.
European
Okay.
country, in a Christian country, or you live in another country. In Egypt, you're a Muslim, so even in the mosque when the prayer is going for Maghrib, you found
Hmm.
people in the cafe, drinking tea, shisha, cigarettes, and no one cares.
Yeah.
Here now, in when you travel abroad, you start to feel the value of Islam. You feel like it's something precious. Like I told you, my mom was surprised that I'm praying Tarawih, because like I was not in Egypt. I never did something like this, because I was like praying Maghrib, praying Isha, Asr, normal prayers, but I never had that Sunnah.
Okay.
So it's something like this. So you feel more, what say, you still having your culture with you, still having the face with you. It's good to protect you, especially here. Prague is a very open mind city. Czech Republic, it's something like they're open mind about sex. They are open mind about drinks. They are open mind about everything. You know. So because also I don't like to drink here, it's very easy if you need to go to pub. It's very easy if you need to go to meet one lady. It's very easy to do anything haram. You know.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, just because they are open-minded, then also you have these like they look at Muslims like maybe people who want to restrict freedom, and so they have like this negative view of Islam. Most Czech people don't like
No,
Islam,
I know.
so they can be open-minded. But you saw the guy called police on you
No,
or
I mean open
whatever.
mind about life, not about not.
Yeah,
But I mean also, let's say my colleagues, my first job, my manager never say anything bad about my religion. I was praying and he respect. And also now in Friday pray, I always book in my calendar for pray Friday. And my manager is Italian, and my manager of my manager is from New Zealand, and he respects that. And also when I was like, let's say I have a Polish colleagues, he was also trying to book, because my card was not working, for a meeting room. He booked meeting room for me to pray. So and also many Czech people in my office, they are respecting this. So I don't think something like the new generation is normal. Let's say maybe older people, which are not seeing them a lot, or not doing having anything with them a lot. But I never had anything in Prague that much prevent me from praying or from doing anything, because my last
yeah,
company also was in Balmovka, and I was able to see the mosques from my building in
yeah.
Validov. So I was also having, let's say, if I need to break, I can go to the mosque and come back. So I don't think that much. In Prague, they don't care. Let's say some other countries, they are fighting Islam, really. Like sometimes in France, they have some things because, you know.
But France is like millions of Muslims, like
Yes,
it's
yes, that's why they need to stop it. But in Prague, you're hidden because hey, you are here for work. How many Muslims in Prague as a total? 10K, 10,000, whatever. They
yeah.
don't care that much. But in community in France is big and getting bigger, so they need to stop it. So something like I would
So there's a
say,
limit on open mind. When Muslims are too much, then they stop being open minded, right? People.
I will not say stop it, but then the hateful start to be. But in your here, you're not seeing a lot of Muslim, so you don't have
Yeah.
anyone to practice your hateful on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So even if
Yeah.
Czech people are hateful about Islam or they don't like it, I think they don't care. One of the good things
Yeah.
in
Of
Czech,
course.
they don't care. So they don't care what I'm doing. They don't even have any problems. So as much even in Prague, it's not a lot of Muslim did any stupid things because
Yeah.
some people are very, they think they are Muslim and they do something stupid and they think that they are helping Islam, but not. But here it's not. You don't have anything hateful with Islam. Also,
Well,
it's helping.
yeah,
They
there
love
have been like these kind of cases, but local Czech Muslims, there have been problems, many, not like foreigners,
Yeah,
but
I heard
local
one
Czech.
guy
Yeah.
who's like helping Syrian. I don't know about giving money to Syria, something like this. But
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
it settles the case. But
But
then
there has been other things like, let's say you send money to like, or you receive money from some organization, like I don't know, police come to you, and then you are in the news like, oh, you are like funding like crazy stuff. You receive like $100, let's say.
it will
So
be too much exaggerative. But I think it's not
yeah,
like also something I was thinking about. Yeah. Also, they ask me when they start to ask me where I'm from. They love Egypt. So when they start to see
yeah, for
Egypt
vacation, yeah.
for vacation, so they start to get in their mind this Red Sea and Hurghada and Sharm el Sheikh.
Hurghada, yeah, yeah. Everyone goes to Hurghada.
Yeah, everyone. My manager, he's always been there. Like I was sitting in I was like walking in Andel, and I was like, one lady came to ask for money, and there was a check, and one teenager guy who was translating, and he started asking me where I'm from. I'm from Egypt. He told me his brother now in Egypt, and also the HR, my company, her sister was going to Egypt, and I gave her some advice. So
Yeah,
everyone go to Egypt. So but I would say that it's not far from here. So when I see Egypt, the first thing start to came to them the tourists.
yeah,
Like when you say Syria, the first thing came to their mind something bad.
yeah. War,
But then when you see and when you say like I'm sorry to say that, but it's true. When you say Iran, something problem to start to come to their mind. Iraq, but
nuclear
when,
war. Yeah,
yeah, when you start to see Egypt, they start to think about history and vacations.
yeah. Egypt
So
is fine.
yeah, but I mean, they start. Yeah, exactly. Egypt, Morocco. They start to think about vacation.
Yeah,
Some people told me they have problem with Algerians. Sometimes it's because many Algerian was making problems, but not because they are Muslims, because they have history with Algerian people. They were like doing some violence, you know. So here I'm here for 3 years and 6 months. So nothing that much nothing even to remember to say even only the guy in the office like he see me praying and then he started to afraid from me, then he started to call the police, but then he started to be like normal. I would start to talk to him.
yeah, yeah. That's strange. Anyways, I have to check out some other comments and stuff.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I will leave also
sorry,
because I need something.
excuse me. But yeah, say hello to everyone in the mosque if you go in
If you
the.
come, yeah, tell me because Ayman is like I told him but he didn't tell me because I was praying also,
Yeah.
but we'll see.
Okay, so I'll be in touch, and then salam alaikum Ahmed. And
Go to Egypt, bro. You will like it.
I Egypt is like too much, too much, too big. I want to go to like Algeria where there's no one.
Algeria is bigger.
Yeah, but Sahara, yeah. But yeah, let's
I
stay in
mean,
touch.
see you. Bye bye.
Salam alaikum. All right. So that was Ahmed from Prague. Hopefully, you guys have enjoyed our discussion. Let me check some of the comments as well. And again, reminding you, you can still call me if you want. It's been over 50 minutes. It's crazy. I've seen some weird comment. Let me check. The worst thing is when they talk to you while you're praying and you don't respond. I never had that. I had people looking at me, but I never had someone go and talk to me. I usually am careful that I don't pray in front of people. Like in a gas station, I go to the woods or something. I don't care if anyone sees me. You can use it as a way to give dawah. That's one way to do it, but you can also create problems. So you have to wait in, depending on which country you're in. Walaikum salam, Murtaza. Read an article many Nazi war criminals back when escaped to Egypt, reverted to Islam. That's crazy. Never heard of that, but that's insane. Nazis always had a good relationship with Arabs. I don't know if that's good, but yeah, Nazis. I don't know nothing about Nazis. Asma Abdu, have you seen NASA's last picture? Do you think Islam is the only way? I actually wanted to make a video about that picture. Like everyone was like tweeting it. Like it's amazing. We discovered this first picture of the universe 13.7 billion years ago. And I was like, okay, who created that? Like no one's asking the most fundamental question. Do you think Islam is the only right way to Allah? What's that's such a strange question. So, for example, Allah, just this name. I mean, you can maybe look at other religions who have this name, but I think they call it different entity, like Yahweh or whatever, the Father in Christianity. But Allah is only in Islam. So, yeah, if you say connect to Allah, then that's only through Islam. If your question is more about if Islam is the only correct way to to God in this huge universe, I think you're misconstruing a few things. So it doesn't matter that the universe is huge. Why is why the size of it matters for it to be a God? So we established through a bunch of arguments. Well, we haven't, but we can establish through a bunch of arguments that the universe exists. There was a cause behind the universe. The cause doesn't have a beginning. It neither is begotten. It doesn't end, and that's Allah. And so there can only be one cause like that. So this cause is called Allah or God. And now the question is, what uh, what does this Allah want? And so we have revelations throughout history, and Islam is the final revelation written in the Quran. And if you look at different messages throughout the religions around the world, you see the same message: worship one God, worship one God, worship one God. But people twist it and polytheistically adopt different things, and their scriptures are twisted and added and all that stuff. Islam is the only preserved scripture, so it hasn't been changed. There has been 7 dialects that has been written in the original Quran, but Uthman then picked one, put it all together, and we have the preserved Quran with manuscripts from the very early time of the early Islam. So we know it hasn't been altered. It's in Arabic, the original, let's say, revelation. What is it? Language, and it summarizes every other aspect of all other religions and gives you a good picture. So yeah, I think you're right on the money. Islam is the only way to do this. Even the Japanese Goebbels pretended on King to escape that sentence. He then translated Quran to Japanese in a mental hospital. That's crazy. I've never heard this. Like, is that true? I need to research this. Like a Japanese sort of Nazi pretended to be crazy. He went to the mental institution where he translated the Quran to the Japanese. If that story is true, man, that's insane. NASA reinforced my belief in Islam. If without Islamists, don't know how they get the problems. Yeah, I haven't. Like, what the picture? Nothing. It's just a picture. Like, we know the universe had a beginning through the Big Bang in 13.7 billion years ago. So I don't think then that anyone has a problem with that. Oh, whoever seeks a way other than Islam will never be accepted. The thing is, yeah, but you have to find like it might sound harsh, but there's wisdom behind those quotes and context. So if you just pick the ayah, maybe it sounds harsh, but uh, yeah, there's no other way than Islam because essentially Islam gives you the ultimate guide in life, in economy, in society, and everything else. All the other systems cannot compete with Islam when it comes to a social structure or whatever. Just the first kind, the prophet has taught that the huge universe is huge. I didn't say Islam is wrong, I'm Muslim. How do you know Islam is the truth? Through intention and rationality. Yeah, I mean, there's many ways to know Islam is the truth, not just rationality. I think that's just one. Democracy is out of window. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Beautiful discussion. Thanks. I remember I went into a room to pray. Some kids came in, and one kid slapped my backside while I was praying. After I finished, I went to spoke to the kid, and the kid cried. I wasn't even being angry. Uh, what? Kids are strange. Yeah, I mean, when kids are coming to see you pray or something, then that's fine. You just have to know if you want to keep them around, depending on the age. But don't be angry at them. Anyways, I think it's been a while. It's been 56 minutes. So, guys, thank you so much for this live stream. And I'm going to release some new videos, and it's going to be kind of exciting, hopefully. Uh, hello, Ridvan. Salam alaikum. Can you hear me?
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you. I just saw that you joined. So, what's
Okay.
going on?
The fan in my room is on, so I just turn it off now, so so that there is no like background noise.
No, it's okay. I can hear
Okay.
you.
Okay. Yeah. So
Do
how
you
are
have
you?
any? Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. And how are you?
I'm good. Alhamdulillah.
Nice.
I've been following your channel for a while. I think, to be honest with you, I think you reverts are usually like a lot of inspiration to we born Muslims, because a lot of the time we as born Muslims, we actually go through the very same process you go through. Like,
Yeah.
for example, I been born as in a Muslim family. For example, uh, I only followed Islam for the vast majority of like my first 2 decades, basically based on what my parents said. So it wasn't actually an intellectual decision made. It's only later in uni and going through life and just having bad experiences and stuff like that, that you eventually come to own Islam for yourself as an individual. So a lot of the time, what reverts go through, or the process reverts go through to accepting Islam, actually happens to born Muslims as well. So a lot of the time, uh, your struggles are not actually foreign to us, even though rationally you'd
Yeah.
expect it to be kind of foreign, but in reality, it's actually not that foreign. It's something we can actually relate to as well, because whether we realize it or not, the liberalism and secularism of society has affected Muslims as well, not just non-Muslims. The world is a global village, and we are all experiencing similar things in different parts of the world.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
yeah,
I agree. Yeah. I think.
and
Yeah, it's similar journey.
yeah,
Do you have
and
any
concerning
specific question?
no, I just felt, because the last time you were on, I don't know if it's the last time or the time before the last, when you had the live calling. I was also in the back studio, but I couldn't get in, so because it was a
Okay.
pretty short stream and you left. So I just wanted to talk to you because I was like, I've always been interested in talking to you. I watch all your videos. So I don't watch other, like, sometimes if I don't really like the topic, I watch like part of it and just leave. But most of the time I watch them all because you give like different perspectives of Bosnia. You're in Bosnia, right? Recently, right?
Yeah, like 2 months
Yeah.
ago, I was there. Yeah.
Yeah. So you gave so because I never really got to understand how Islam is in such a country. So I watched all your Bosnia videos, for example, when you went for Juma and when you showed the history of the war and how it impacted the country and all that. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, because it's very good information. It's a it's quality information that's not provided anywhere else, and it's good to have it from a first-hand perspective. So you're doing a valuable job, alhamdulillah. It's a very helpful for the Muslim community, alhamdulillah.
Yeah, I just think most people don't. I mean, there's if they like I've seen many travel videos in like when people go to these countries, but they are usually non-Muslim, so they just film like the food or whatever, or they film like how they are swimming, but that's not the point. Like they don't try to understand like the culture, and especially me being now Muslim, I have more to relate. I can go to pray, and it's like more interesting for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to call in concerning like the issue of the topic you put in the topic for
Mhm.
today. Um, are we focusing on Allah or are we focusing on the Akhirah or on this life? And actually,
Yeah.
that's a question I tend to ask myself a lot as well, because a lot of the time, as Muslim, for example, even I told you before, right? Like I had this period of my life where I was just a Muslim because my parents were Muslims, right? And you go through this phase where maybe you're just a Jumu'ah Muslim who goes for Friday prayers and that's it. Or you struggle to pray your 5 daily prayers during this period of my life. But then I think in uni, I think in 2014, I had this realization that Islam is actually the truth. I came to the intellectual realization of Islam being superior to everything else in 2014, somewhere at the end of 2014. And then my iman was very high, and my whole life was focused on the akhirah. I was very motivated. But then one of the issues with that is a lot of the time, just there's something called the convert zeal, right? The revert zeal. You must have experienced that early motivation you have when you become Muslim. Even we as Muslims, born Muslims, when we reach the stage in our lives when we come to the intellectual realization of Islam being true, we also have that. Even though we were born Muslims, we also have that zeal. So when I had that zeal, like, to be honest with you, my life was the best then. That 1 year, 2 year period after that, my life was perfect. Like I couldn't do anything wrong. Everything I touched turned to gold. Everything was like perfect. But
Yeah.
then somewhere down the line, life hits you again, and you start becoming attached to the dunya. And one thing I've come to realize from experience in life thus far is that it's almost like Allah sends a message to every believer through our attachment to the dunya. And why do I say this? From my experience, I genuinely feel that if a person disobeys Allah and has a good life, it's a very bad sign. If a Muslim disobeys Allah and has a good life, it's a very bad sign for the believer. And if a Muslim goes away from Allah and stares away and takes a path of misguidance and his life becomes miserable, it's a very good sign for a believer that Allah actually cares about you. Because if you're doing, it's just like the disbeliever, the non-Muslim, who is disobeying Allah in everything, but still everything he wants in life, he still gets it. You just
Yeah.
think about that. He disobeys Allah, but everything he wants is still good. If it's the women, if it's the days, the wealth, he still gets everything. There is a very high possibility that this person would have no share in the hereafter. That's why he's getting all of these things. But for the Muslim, in order for the Muslim to actually uh, succeed in this life, he has to be on the deen. Because
Yeah.
if
By the
yeah,
way, my Maghrib is coming closer, but so I'll have to end the live stream. But I understand your point.
yeah,
I think there's actually a hadith, which is something like this. I'm gonna paraphrase it. That if this world had any value in the eyes of Allah, He wouldn't give a kafir a single drop of water to drink from.
mm,
So this world and everything it contains, all the cars, all this is less in the eyes of Allah than water in maybe
yeah,
for believers. So it's like we have to switch our perspective, to
yeah,
understand that it's all a test. It's you're not taking anything with you,
yeah,
and essentially you're gonna sin. So you will never be always this amazing Muslim. But once you
yeah,
sin, you have to come back, and it's always about tawbah and coming back to Allah. And that's why Quran is like a reminder to remind you of what's important.
yeah.
Always
But
coming
all,
back. Yeah.
but the other point, the point I'm actually trying to make is that even though we're living in this life and our priorities the year after, we also shouldn't forget our share of the dunya as well, because as
Yeah.
no one wants to live a miserable life, right? Everyone wants to live a good, comfortable life. But the only difference between a Muslim and a disbeliever is that for a Muslim to have a good life, he needs to adhere to Islam. Because if a Muslim lives Islam, he's not going to have a good life, especially if Allah loves the believer. If he's a believer Allah loves, Allah will take away the good things in the dunya from him
Mhm.
if he stays far away from him. Because Allah wants to bring you back, wants to bring you back to him. But for as long as you're holding on to Islam and you're trying your best to stay away from the haram, you're trying your best to do the halal, you would have a perfect life. Like it's a
Yeah.
promise. Even Allah mentioned that in the Quran. It's a promise from Allah to the believer. So
No, I agree with that, but I gotta go because I have to do the salah. But thank
okay,
you, Ridwan, for calling,
it's
and
been nice talking
assalamu
to you.
alaikum. And let's
Walaikum salam.
let's let's be in touch. All right, so guys, I really have to go. I'm just gonna check some two more comments. Difficulty that someone all rationality goes out of the window. Yeah, especially the death is should be a reminder that this life is temporary. But also, hey Jan, how's it going in your new place in Banska Bystrica? What are you doing the weekend? How's it going to worshiping? Welcome to Algeria. Yeah, so Banska Bystrica is amazing. I really love it here. There are plenty of halal spots that I've discovered. And during the weekend, I go to Jumma, to another town. I have made some Muslim friends here who are converts. So I don't have any Muslim kind of like Muslim immigrant friends that I had in Prague, but I have like local converts that I've met, and it's going well, alhamdulillah, but it can be better. I gotta go, guys. It's been a while, so assalamu alaikum, and remember, stay on your deen. Never, never, what? Never deviate, something like that. Anyways, assalamu alaikum. See you later.